The World Championship of League of Legends is down to the Final Four. Newbee is back on top of Dota 2, and a man named Mang0 does it again. I'm John Reisinger. With me, as always, are Meg, Turney, and the Daily Dot's Jared Wynne. Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi.
Here's what you need to know.
We'll talk about the big League of Legends tournament later in the show, but we'll start with Dota 2. It's been a rough time for Chinese team Newbee, the champions of this year's international event, since that victory netted the team over $5 million. The squad lost Zhang Shou-Ning to retirement and had underperformed a series of events, but they got things back on track over the weekend.
That's right. At the World Cyber Arena event in their home country of China, Newbee were able to outplay a tough field of top Asian and European teams, including Cloud9, Alliance, and Na'Vi. Jared, does this win put Newbee back on top of Dota 2?
I don't think they ever really fell off. I think when you go out and you win more than $5 million, you kind of have to breathe after that. You have to take it slow a little bit.
I know I do every time I win $5 million.
I'm speaking from personal
Give me
experience.
a moment, everybody.
Yeah, I know. I need at least a couple months to kind of unwind. You know, they sit around playing Dota 2 all day. When you win that big event like that, you win the biggest event in esports history, really. You need some time to decompress, and they've done that. So I think it's actually impressive that they can turn around this quickly and win a big event like this. And it was a big event with some very stiff competition, so it's very impressive by Newbee. As far as why they haven't won every event since then, the top of Dota 2 is very competitive right now. There's some great teams out there. Some of them were here. Avicii Gaming, Cloud9, very good teams. Alliance made a good showing after some struggles for a while. Evil Geniuses can make an argument to be the best team in the world today. So some very good teams out there. Newbee is definitely one of them, and this shows it.
Okay.
Also notable at World Cyber Arena was the event's big Hearthstone tournament, it's Italian, which was won by a relatively unknown Chinese player competing under the name Levo. For his victory, he took home the largest individual cash prize yet given out in Hearthstone, nearly $100,000. Jared, we talked about this tournament in the past and how it was seeded randomly. How did that play out for them?
It played out rather poorly. It played out like you would expect. The top players in the world knocked each other out before we even got to the playoff stage. That's unfortunate. It's okay if the top players in the world are going to get knocked out in the tournament, but you want it to be by underdogs. You want it to be appropriately, not knocking each other out in the very first round because they have to. So it's a little bit silly, but that's the way it worked out. In the playoffs, we did have a relatively unknown player winning the whole competition. I think it just shows that we haven't had a lot of big Hearthstone competitions just yet. We're still figuring out who the best players in the world really are. And in Hearthstone, you do have an element of luck. The luck of the draw, as it were, and the digital draw, not an actual draw.
Right.
You don't actually draw cards from the computer.
Right.
And
That'd be cool.
Just so we're clear.
John needs clarity. I know. He was asking
I
me
play
about it.
Hearthstone.
He
I
called
know
it
Hearthstone.
Yeah.
before.
I said Hearthstone because that's just I never heard anybody say it otherwise.
Well, he plays it on his iPad, which is kind of...
And my computer. God damn it.
You don't
I
have
just
a,
leave the set.
I swear, I really want to right now, but I have to read this.
Wish I
One of
could
the
pen-
year's biggest Smash Brothers events also took place this weekend. The Big House 4 was held in Michigan and saw a field of close to 600 players enter its Super Smash Brothers Melee tournament. Familiar names appeared in top 8, including Jason Mewtwo King Zimmerman and Swedish star Adam Armada Lindgren. But ultimately, it was American Joseph Mang0 Marquez who took home the crown. Marquez's victory continues the 2014 run that also included first place finishes at EVO and MLG Anaheim.
One of Europe's biggest names in League of Legends has fallen on hard times. Russian mid laner Alex Ichitovkin has now parted ways with Swedish esports organization Ninjas in Pajamas. And the parting was anything but sweet. Ichitovkin moved to Sweden to play for the organization's League of Legends team with the understanding that the team personnel would help him in acquiring a visa that would keep him in the country legally, but that never came. When Ichitovkin's temporary visa expired, he was faced with a difficult situation, citing the uncertainty regarding the legality of his stay and the several thousand euros he was apparently still owed. He'd asked to be released from the team.
It seems that the situation between team and player was resolved amicably, but it's still a tough break for a great player. Jared, is there anything we can learn from this kind of situation? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. I think anyone who has dealt with immigration knows that dealing with immigration is bad.
It's difficult. We deal with it here at Rooster Teeth with a couple of our employees, and there's hoops.
Yeah, there are hoops involved. Lots of hoops. And
Lots of
hoops are terrible. I hate
Yeah.
hoops. Even, like, was that 10 seconds of a sad story without start joking about it?
Right.
Yeah, it's, you know, I've been through immigration myself. It's a bad thing. You know, if you're having to go through immigration, it's not fun. I think it just shows that there's still obstacles for international players. As big as some of these games are, and as big as the teams might profess themselves to be, they can't always get these things done. Here in the United States, we do have options for people who are immigrating and want a visa to compete, much like an athlete can, an esports athlete can get a visa. In Sweden, though, that same option is not available. I think there's a sense that maybe the organization, Ninjas in Pajamas, did not do everything they could have to research this beforehand. They didn't know how difficult it might actually be. That's unfortunate because Ichitovkin provides for his family. He's not just traveling the world by himself.
Yeah, that's his job.
Yeah, it is. And he's very good. And the scene in Russia that he is that is naturally his, is not a great one. He didn't really have any opportunities there to play at the highest level of the game. So it's a tough situation for everyone involved. He does seem to have maybe some potential options. SK Gaming has reached out to him. We don't know what the details of that conversation are, though. They could have just been, giving him a pat on the shoulder, basically. Or they could have made him an offer. We don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Hopefully, though, he does get a chance to play, because he's a great player, and he deserves a chance to play somewhere.
Where would you like to see him play, if you had to put him on any team?
My team.
Okay, Jared's new team.
I'm going to start a team here in the States
and him.
where we have visas for players, unlike in Sweden.
Throwing down the gauntlet already.
Yeah.
You're fighting Sweden right now.
Sweden is it's cold, and they've got a flag with it's blue and yellow.
It's real. They're real smug. Okay, they're
those smug Swedish people.
Have you ever
They're
spoken
known
to a
for
Swedish
that.
person? Yeah.
Those smug, chocolate-loving Swedish people.
Chocolate-loving.
Don't bring race into this.
They.
Did I?
On a brighter note, Riot's World Championship continued over the past several days as the quarterfinals finished up. Team Solo Mid put up a good fight against the Korean side Samsung Galaxy White, but for falling 3-1, and Cloud9 looked even stronger against Samsung Galaxy Blue, though they too would end up losing 3-1. Meanwhile, Starhorn Royal Club needed 5 games to defeat Edward Gaming, and OMG managed a big upset, sweeping Korean team Nanjin White Shield. Ugh. Jared, let's start with the American teams, and let's drill down to Team Solo Mid, because I want to talk about what happened with them.
Do you?
I do want to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that. They played pretty well. They actually surprised people. I predicted here they would probably get swept, I believe. I said they could be okay, but probably get swept. And I think that was the general feeling, that they would get swept. But they actually acquitted themselves, not too poorly. It was a decent showing. They didn't really threaten Samsung Galaxy White, but they did win a game, and they did, that's pretty good against the top Korean team, one of the best Korean teams in Korea.
One of the plays that people were talking about, we actually talked about, you and I, on Twitter, was amazing, seemingly Leroy Jenkinsing his team. How do you feel about, was it stupid? A lot of people were criticizing him, saying that his moves were reckless, or his play was reckless during that game. Do you agree, or do you think it was kind of, they were going to lose anyway, might as well have fun with it?
I think it's symbolic of what some American teams are dealing with right now, and that's transitioning from being a great individual team, a team made of great individuals, to a truly cohesive team. Cloud9 actually has done a great job of that. They really spearheaded that movement in North American League Championship Series of being more of a complete team, playing not the Korean way, but the truly professional way, where you don't just play for the individual skill, you play with the overall game in mind and the objectives of the game in mind. You don't just earn those objectives by beating your opponents individually, you earn them by controlling the entire map. That's kind of a broad thing to say in response to what you're asking, but I think that's symbolic of that transition. That was not, I don't think, the best thing. But at that point, they were going to lose, so you may as well go out in style, I guess.
Very cool.
The other side had all the Chinese teams and OMG. Can you tell us about what was going on there? Yeah,
well, Starhorn Royal Club manages to survive their series with Edward Gaming. They won the first 2 games and then almost lost the series. They had to go to 5 to win that, but they did manage to take it out in the end. OMG's upset over Najin White Shield was unexpected, to say the least. OMG played pretty shaky League of Legends in the group stage, and then in the playoffs, they managed to sweep Najin White Shield 3-0.
Brought together in the end.
And they just styled on them. They dominated them. It was embarrassing. Yeah, I felt bad for that Korean team, and they should have felt bad too. They probably did, actually. Yeah.
They're watching this right now, and they're really upset about what you're saying.
Yeah, they are. They are. They're watching this right now, and be like, what are they saying? I can't understand.
My script's not next. Your script's next.
This sets up. Thank you, co-anchor. This sets up the semifinal round with Samsung Galaxy White meeting sister team Samsung Galaxy Blue, while OMG will look to keep up their momentum after the stunning upset of Najin White Shield when they play Starhorn Royal Club. Jared, should fans be excited about these matchups that are coming up?
I'm really excited, and let me tell you, if anyone out there is not excited, I will be so goddamn pissed. I will flip this table.
I feel like we should cue some music for you
right
now.
Shut up, John.
I'm taking enough of your shit, and now I'm getting serious.
There's a table off camera over there. You can't see it at home. There's a table over there. I will walk off this set and flip that table.
That table.
Yeah.
This one's actually really heavy.
Yeah, but that one is too, and it has a computer
it's like made out of
on it.
solid
That's
adamantium.
how angry I will be if people are not excited about this semifinal series. It's really exciting. It's so exciting. It's exciting. So, yeah, I mean, Samsung Galaxy Blue versus Samsung Galaxy White. The blue team I am going to talk about it.
I'm glad you're going to go back
There
for
you
some
go.
information.
There you go.
That's what I'm here for.
I'm ready.
You know? Yeah, I'm here to be
here to
angry,
learn.
and informative.
Yes.
Alternatively.
So team white or team blue?
Team white or team blue? They're both Korean. There's no really a team.
Thank
white.
you.
Samsung Galaxy
No,
Blue.
but which of the
Thank
two?
you.
I know you wanted to go to the race thing. Yeah, hey.
What's the blue race? The Cree or something?
White and blue.
I know what you were
Also,
doing. I didn't know.
You can't see it, but the cameras are like, who? Oh, shit. It's getting crazy.
Samsung Galaxy White.
Yes.
Or Samsung Galaxy
Yes.
Blue.
Yeah, and the colors are arbitrary. They're not indicative
God
of
damn
anything.
it.
Just to be clear, the blue team is definitely the favorite. The white team, Samsung Galaxy White, actually spoke before Cloud9 played Samsung Galaxy Blue and said, "We hope that Cloud9 wins because we're tired of getting beaten by Samsung Galaxy Blue." That's not really a good thing to say before your big semifinal match.
Yeah.
We're so tired of getting our asses kicked. I hope we don't play them again. Oh, well, here we go. So that's the thing. I think if Samsung Galaxy White can take the first game, this could be a real series because these players are going to be very familiar with each other's play styles.
Right.
There's a lot of known factors here. But if Blue gets on a roll, it's going to be tough sledding for Samsung Galaxy White. On the other side, we have Starhorn Royal Club meeting OMG. It's an interesting Chinese battle here because Starhorn Royal Club was the much better looking team in the group stage. OMG was very shaky, barely got through, but then OMG turns around and sweeps Naj and White Shield, like one of the best Korean teams. So what do you make of this? It depends on how OMG continues to play. If they can hold that form through, then they should be able to win the whole tournament, theoretically.
So it sounds like we should be excited about this.
It sounds like you should be, because if you're not, things are going to happen.
Things are going to happen.
Bad things.
Bad things.
Yeah.
On that exciting note, that's it for the leaderboard this week. Join Meg and Ashley for the Know It All on Friday on the Rushishi channel, where they'll bring you all the biggest news stories of the week in one shot.
Yep, I'm so excited. I can't even talk. Please don't hurt me. In the meantime, for more gaming entertainment news, make sure you click like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week for more from the leaderboard. I'm so excited.